are two factions resulting from a split in the political party, then the question of symbol will arise. Right, Maharaj? It is nobody's case here. Nobody has, they say they are the Shiv Sena. Why? Because they are 40. So how does a majority on the legislative assembly become the Shiv Sena? Then Maharaj, if in the Congress in Goa, if majority of the Congress legislators join, as they do, Maharaj, I have been seeing this happen again and again, Maharaj, then they are the Congress. They can say they are the Congress. But how can they say that? Therefore, Maharaj, this has grave consequences on the polity of this country. Because now the legislative party seems to believe that it can, under the 10th schedule, proclaim itself to be the political party and throw out office bearers who are appointed by the political party in the House. Constitutionally, that cannot be countenanced. Who appoints the leader of the House? Says, in exercise of my power as chairperson of the Congress Parliamentary Party, I hereby make the following appointment to the Rajya Sabha. Shri Kharge, MP leader of the Congress Party, against the vacancy of Ghulam Nabi Azad, whose term in the Rajya Sabha has come to an end on 15th February. This is a letter written by the Congress UPA chairperson to the Speaker, to the chairman of the Congress or the Rajya Sabha. That's how Maharaj people are appointed. Can Maharaj, Mr. Kharge on his own, or could he have said that I am the leader? I have so many MPs, so I am the leader. The same thing with the whip. Now, Maharaj 57. The newly elected speaker, in an illegal, arbitrary and blatant display of malafide. And how do you, Maharaj, allow this speaker to decide this matter when he's been doing these things? Your Lordship, Maharaj.
But that confidence you also have when you say that that speaker had to decide a disqualification petition.
Yes, correct, Maharaj.
That is not
It will be subject to challenge. It's subject to challenge.
Right, and that is not dependent on who is the speaker, Mr. Sibal.
No, Maharaj, I'm sorry. That speaker did not do anything like this, Maharaj. You have to now see, kindly see, look what is happening.
But the constitutional authority of the speaker to decide is not based on who the speaker is, on what decisions
Maharaj, can ever a finding of bias be reached by a constitutional court? You Lordships will say no. Let's put it another constitutional issue. If a constitutional authority has so conducted itself that a constitutional court comes to the conclusion that such a constitutional authority cannot discharge the functions that it is discharging because of its open bias, your Lordships will say no, we let them decide. I don't know, Maharaj. I don't have the answer for it.
No, not necessarily. In Rameshwar Prasad, with respect to a governor,
yes.
Judgment of this court that if there is an allegation of bias, then government has to come and defend it.
Maharaj, that's exactly.
It's possible, not that the court will naturally do it, but then we all are proceeding on the premise that, in fact, your argument had been in the first part also, that so far as the speaker is concerned, it's a constitutional authority.
No, but see what he has done. He has appointed the whip. He has appointed the leader of the House. What kind of confidence can we have in this constitutional authority? Who, without reference to the political party, is doing all this? Do you think he can ever decide in my favor? There is no way.
But then you have the first speaker who, in defiance of the legislative rules, gives 2 days notice.
I'm sorry. No, that is...
In defiance of the legislative rules, gives 2 days notice.
That your Lordship...
This is the way everybody is behaving.
And that's correct. So what do we do, Maharaj? Your Lordship will then have to...
There are two options. Either you debunk the authority of the speaker, or you say,
I said that on day one, Maharaj.
Alternately, irrespective of what lesser mortals decide, ultimately, in a democracy, you value the office or the institution.
Then that 27th order should not...
If we say...
Correct, then the 27th order should not have been passed.
Denigrating constitutional officers, including the office of a speaker.
Well, they are denigrating themselves.
They
are denigrating themselves. We are not denigrating them.
No, Mr. Sibal, there's some problem.
It's a race to the bottom then.
Yes, we have. We have to start, Maharaj, what to do. But the problem is, Maharaj, that problem is very serious. And therefore,
it is they are the legislators, parliamentarians, who have decided upon the speaker to be the tribunal for 10th schedule. It is parliamentarians' decision.
Yeah, I agree.
10th schedule. So therefore, court is only interpreting that.
Fine, Maharaj. Then we must go back to 27th.
Doesn't take us anywhere, Mr. Sibal. The difficulty, repeatedly you say, at one stage, it, it poses a very big problem for the court.
Yes.
On the one hand, if the speaker is with you, you would say that it's a constitutional authority. What's wrong with the speaker? If you have some difficulty, you would say, you means not you. You would say, look at the way the speakers have behaved. So therefore, for us, as long as the constitution bench judgment is there, we will go by the fact
I
that
agree.
the speaker is the tribunal and he is the presiding officer for 10th schedule.
Correct.
And
Correct,
we will-
correct.
we will not go back the decision. That's the final decision so far as we are concerned.
Fine. That's, I mean, I don't,
Proceed.
I don't want to say anything contrary to that, except that on that logic, the 27th order could not have been passed. Then we come back to that. And that's what led to what we are, where we are today.
And again, it's merely because one or two speakers have gone astray, would the court be inclined to debunk the whole procedure as laid down and the 10th schedule?
No,
by
no,
saying-
Maharaj, I mean, my intention is not that. I'm just, Maharaj, telling your lordships what has been happening.
So it's a conundrum.
Yes, it's a conundrum. It's a constitutional conundrum, but your lordships will one day have to sort it out.
Sorry, for another question. Every time this question is raised before the court, I would want to ask you, how many times did the parliamentarians raise this question in the parliament saying that let us actually amend the constitution, change the speaker? How many times the discussion took place in the parliament to review the conduct of the speaker?
Well,
Why is that question raised before the court, which is not the forum for the consideration? How many times the parties have sat down together and decided that this is not working? Let us go back.
Once the Kyoto Holohan was rendered, Maharaj, what would Parliament would say?
Why it only upheld the 10th schedule. It is you making the 10th schedule.
No, Maharaj, the political party in power, wherever it is, wants to use the office of the speaker to do what they are doing. The political party would never, in power, would never like to change it.
This will take us nowhere, Mr. Sibal, frankly, and this will, unless there's an amendment to the constitution, unless there is a reference, a direct challenge,
Maharaj,
and so
Justice Sabharwal
we
said
have
it.
to proceed on that premise.
Justice Sabharwal said it in a judgment of this court, Jagdeep Singh. Exactly that. Undoubtedly, our constitutional scheme, the speaker enjoys a pivotal position. The position of the speaker is and has been held by people of outstanding ability and impartiality, without meaning any disrespect for any particular speaker in the country, but only going by some of the events of the recent past. Certain questions have been raised about the confidence in the matter of impartiality on some issues having political overtones, which are decided by the speaker in his capacity as a tribunal. It has been urged that if not checked, it may ultimately affect the high office of the speaker. Our attention has been drawn to the recommendations made by the National Commission to review the working of the Constitution, recommending that the power to decide on the question as to disqualification on the ground of defection should vest in the Election Commission. I dread that as of today, Maharaj. Election Commission instead of the Speaker of the House. Concerned. Our attention has also been drawn to the views of a number of other experts, committees, commissioners, to the effect that power of disqualification as a result of defection needs to be exercised in accordance with the opinion of the Commission, as in the case of decision on questions as to disqualification of members. Whether to vest such power on the Speaker or Election Commission or other institution is not for us to decide, as your Lordship rightly said.
Exactly.
It is for Parliament to decide.
Exactly.
Right, I agree. I'm not disputing
be
that. But I'm just saying the disquiet that we have witnessed in the functioning of the office, that's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying this person is good or that person is good. It's the institutional framework within which he functions, Maharaj, is not consistent with his responsibilities as a tribunal. That's all that I'm saying. What to do? But the fact is that he had no authority in law to decide on the whip and on the leader of the house.
And
That's not his.
That's a separate issue. We made it out of that.
Yes.
That's why I make that argument. Then let's come to the newly elected speaker in an illegal, arbitrary and a blatant display of malafide and bias issued notice to 14 MLAs seeking their response to disqualification petitions filed by Bharat Gogavle. The speaker is still sitting tight on the disqualification petitions filed by Sunil Prabhu and has not even issued notice in them despite their disqualification petitions being filed much earlier. He issues notice on their disqualification petition, but not on ours. And they haven't filed a reply, Maharaj. This court said in the interim, we adjourn it to 12th of July. Maharaj, from July, we are in February. Where's the reply? 18th of July, the notice issued by the Speaker in the disqualification petitions filed by Bharat Gogagle against 14 Shiv Sena MLAs, including Sunil Prabhu, was challenged by Sunil Prabhu in writ petition, wherein this Honorable Court, by order dated that, directed to tag the writ petition along with other connected matters. So that's also before your Lordships. And now, Mullahs, the Election Commission says they are the Shiv Sena. Now we'll be further disqualified. Any meeting called, if we don't attend, then when we are Mullahs, then it will be further problems. Despite the fact that this Honorable Court is seized of the issues regarding disqualification of Eknath Shinde under the 10th schedule, Shinde filed a petition before the Election Commission under para 15 of the election symbols reservation and allotment order to declare the splinter group led by him as the Shiv Sena. So this is the first time, Mullahs, that he went. On 20th July, by order dated 20th July, another in writ petition so-and-so, another connected petition, this court issued notice in writ petition so-and-so. It was directed by this Honorable Court, the writ petition shall be treated as the lead matter. 20th July, pursuant to the order of the court dated 20th July, Shri Subhash Desai made a representation to the ECI, by representation requesting ECI to not proceed with any petition related to Shiv Sena, as substantially similar matters and issues are pending before this Honorable Court, and not to take any preemptive action. Then IA 100285 was filed on 21st July, was preferred by Sunil Prabhu in writ petition seeking direction to the Speaker, Maharashtra Assembly, to produce the following records. All proceedings relating to disqualification of rebel Shiv Sena MLAs filed by Sunil Prabhu. All proceedings related to disqualification filed by Shri Gogagle. All proceedings of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker in relation to recognition of the Leader of the House and Chief Whip of Shiv Sena. Proceedings of the House on 3rd July and 4th July. 22nd July, without deference to the proceedings pending before this court, as well as without considering that no adjudication can take place till disqualification petitions pending against delinquent MLAs are decided, Election Commission issued notice to Uddhav Thackerey on the petition filed by Eknath Shinde.